Welcome, friends, gamers, and other enthusiasts, to the first episode, technically episode 000 of Humankind, a new series, a 4X strategy game that I'm playing. If you never heard of Humankind before, it's essentially very similar to Civilization. If you haven't heard of Civilization, the game series from Firaxis, what rock are you under? With all kidding aside, you will notice I only have 12 whole minutes of this game on Steam, at least listed, and zero achievements. It looks like I've never played it before. I will be honest, full disclosure here. I have played it before. I did buy it on the Epic Game Store. However, a new DLC just recently came out, and there is an incredible sale on Steam. I like having my games on Steam. Competition wise, I believe Epic Game Store is a good thing, but it's primarily for Fortnite. Steam is primarily for PC games, and I like Steam better. I wish Epic Game Store and a few other GOG would be up their game a little bit, so that way it'll be a better market. Whenever you force Steam to be better, it'll be better for everybody. With all of that aside, regardless of what's happening, this is, I'm just doing a full disclosure. I have zero achievements. I have some previously downloaded content, non mods. I have no mods on this game. However, in this game, you can also download personalities. Likewise, when the game first came out, there were certain quote unquote famous personalities, entertainers, that got their voice into the game and their avatars into the game. One of which was Quo 18. Really great guy. Really good gamer. An older gamer like myself. I think he's even slightly older than me. Regardless, I do have him and a few other avatars. Plus, I'll show you, I do have a few achievements in the game unlocked so I can start unlocking. I'm really close to getting the Divinci personality unlocked. I'll show that to you. And there's a few others. There's one which is Hispanic, and in real life, I am Hispanic. My grandparents on my mother's side came from Mexico. I don't speak Spanish. I'm a terrible Mexican. It, that there's a long story behind it, and I'll show that to you. But I just want to give a full disclosure. The point of this episode is we're going to create the world and not even do one turn of the game, so that way you can follow along and see what type of game I'm playing. And we're just going to go over the achievements. I'm going to fast forward to when I start up the game. There'll be a trailer, and I'll be quiet for the trailer. And when I mean trailer, I really mean cinematic. There's an opening cinematic when you enter the game for the first time, like most good AAA games. And truth be said, I'm not even sure if this is a AAA game, but it's a well quality game, so I'll give it that. Okay, the cinematic's over. Tip: every military unit consumes at least one pop. I'm going to be creating my avatar. Now, another disclaimer I want to point out is yes, I have played it, but I have not played this game extensively. I'm not a veteran, and it's been probably over a year. Whenever the last DLC came out, before Oceanic, was the last time I played it. And in fact, I don't think I even played it then. I think it was DLC before that. This game is, I think, better than Civilization 6. And I would rank it on par, if not a wee bit better, than Civilization 5. I like the way how you don't pick just one civilization and one leader and you're stuck like that. Every era, you have your own choice to tweak your civilization to the way how you want it to be or what you think is best for that era, minus what other people picked as well. Now, I'm just showing, all the stuff I have. I'm going to kind of fast forward this a little bit, and then we'll start creating my character. Now, is the avatar important? No. It's just there for looks. I want something, at least decent. And I do have all paid content DLC. Again, there's a good sale on Steam. I was able to get everything, and then I bought the Oceanic DLC. I even have the enhanced version of deluxe version of Humankind. Okay, and speaking about events, there's this event. Remember, you can get personalities, and look how close I am to getting Divinci. Very close. I need to get a biplane in the early modern era. I have to remember to purchase a biplane. And then next one, I need to own a city with the culture wonder from every era. That's going to be kind of tough. The first two eras are the hardest, I think. And then I also need to be Venetian and trigger the science end game. So the very last species or culture has to be Venetian, and that's something I have to remember. I'm sometimes it's very difficult. So I think I'm going to go for my first game a science victory requirement, which means I'm going to need an early culture. The reason why the early culture wonder is really hard is you need a lot of influence to secure a culture wonder. And the problem with that is I like using influence to get land. Getting land is, ultimately very important. Outposts and stuff like that. And if you never played the game, I'll walk you through it. The problem is it's a yin-yang situation. You need a little this, a little that. But if I want that Divinci, I want to unlock a Divinci. That's the goal for this playthrough. Science victory. Be the top culture of the world. And unlock Divinci. So we need a biplane. We need to be Venetian. And we need a cultural wonder on every era in one city, which will, of course, be the capital city. Okay, I'm going to use the power and magic of editing to speed up the game. I'm creating an avatar, and, it is what it is. I'm making one. Does it look like me? No. But, I'm just picking one that kind of looks decent. Nor do I want one that looks like me either. That's not the goal. I don't like playing as myself sometimes. I like playing as other people more than like. So I can role play a personality. Have some scars, look a little rugged, but something, I can see as a leader type. Okay, let's use the power magic of editing to fast forward through some of this boring part. Speed up the editing, or gameplay, I should say. And with that, I'm using magic and power of editing to return to normal. If you're not aware, these biases and strengths are very cosmetic. If I'm playing against myself, I could actually play against myself or play against this avatar, and the avatar will try to do these strengths and biases whenever appropriate. It's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, it's a moderate thing. So I'm picking some science, making sure they have garrison. And I forgot what the weakness I picked. I guess I could look at it, but it's not that important. Alright, let's start looking at the world. And just to show you, I have no saves, but I do want to put everything in the cloud. I want to randomize everything. I will only have one AI selected because I do want Quill in my game. And again, he's a really nice fella. If you don't watch his Twitch, he's worth watching. He also has a YouTube channel. I'm sure you can find him. Older gentleman. And Midas. The Midas touch. I remember that story as a kid. I'm going to pick the Empire difficulty. And one of the reasons is I do want to chant. It's been a while since I played. I do want some challenge. And I also do want to have a chance to get all the cultural wonders in one city. So I don't want it too tough either. So I'm picking Empire difficulty. I'm picking Endless because this is a game series. And I like long games. So you can make a few mistakes. One turn doesn't make a big difference. The shorter the turns, yes, the faster the gameplay, but also every turn is more impactful. And if you make going left versus right, and then have to go right again, or left again, or whatever, you're wasting an extra turn, and that extra turn you could have done so much more. In endless, it's not as impactful. So you can make a few mistakes. You could be a little casual about it, and you could have a draw on that. I want a good gameplay. I'd much rather be in the ancient era for 2 or 3 episodes versus just half an episode. As an example, who knows how long each era is going to take? It's been, I never videotaped myself playing this type of game before, so it'll be something different. And yes, those of you have been watching my previous videos, this is the first time I'm playing a Forex strategy game on my channel. But I like Forex strategy games. I like Stellaris. I'm very anxious for that new Star Trek Infinity that's coming out by Paradox. It's coming out round about my birthday, if not on my birthday. Just as FYI. And yes, Columbus is someone famous, and we all should celebrate him discovering America. Very important event, regardless of what modern Americans think nowadays. But no politics here. You know, you can let me know in the comments below if you believe Columbus should be celebrated or not, and you can tell me why. But I'll tell you the reasons why if you're curious. Please let me know in the comments below. There's a cinematic. Let's listen to the cinematic. At least I believe there is.
Our universe contains infinite stories, most of which are about rocks and ice at sub-zero temperatures in a vacuum. Rather boring. However, on a small damp rock, there is a story that bears a second look. It's your story. But the first 4 billion years or so mostly concern amino acids. Not much of a page turn. But then, over time, the amino acids bond together and things start to get interesting and a bit drier. A certain subspecies of hominid discovers that you can do more with a sharp rock than annoy your little brother. Tools and weapons are invented. The hominids begin to cooperate. Fire becomes a servant rather than an unpredictable force of nature. They learn to tan the skins of animals for clothing. They learn ways to record and probably exaggerate their adventures. Eventually, these tribes learn to build shelters and immediately hold the first barbecue parties. This is the dawn of humankind. Struggle and cooperation have been rewarded. The Neolithic era draws to a close. The whole world beckons. This tribe has come far, but the rest of their story is your story. You are the one who will build them into a great civilization. How far will you push humankind? A new era, a new epoch. While your tribe looks to you for leadership, the weight of all those future, unborn generations also weighs upon your decisions. What sort of lives will they have?
The dawn of humankind. All right, I'm going to be wrapping it up. I'm just taking a quick look, but I'm not going to move. This is turn 1. Technically turn 0 because we haven't moved yet. We're a nomadic tribe. We have one single unit in the Neolithic era. Neolithic. There's a science wonder, curiosity to the north. We're on the northern hemisphere, close to the North Pole, it seems. And I'm also turning on the options to see the tile resources and stuff, which is to be useful, and also to see the hexes. Anytime that there is some type of event, I want the map to focus on that event, the location of it. All right. And of course, we have 0 technologies, 0 influence, zero science, zero food, and no saves. So time to make the first save. And since this is Empire save, Empire difficulty, we'll call it something like that. As a quick recap, our goals is to unlock Divinci. We need to a biplane in the early modern era. We need to be the Venetians as the very last culture, and we need to win with the science victory. The game is set up where we can only win by science victory, or pollution becomes so bad that it kills the entire world. Whoopsie! Hopefully that won't happen. All right. I hope you enjoy it. This is a new series. Episode one will come out shortly. I haven't played it yet, and episode one will deal with the early Neolithic era. And it may take an episode or two. Remember, this is on endless speed, so it's going to take 600 plus turns. That's a lot of turns. Neolithic tends to be short, though. Again, thank you very much for showing up. I hope you all have a great day. And before I forget, that very first science slash culture curiosity is probably the first thing I'm going to get. That's probably the first. I'll beeline to that. I want it. But again, that's episode one. This ends episode zero. I'm just going to save the game and exit out. It's that time of the video where I'd say adios. Thank you for watching. And if you're hearing this, I really like to say thank you for staying at least this long or skipping to the end. I really appreciate it. Better yet, the YouTube gods seem to enjoy it. Please like, subscribe, click on the bell icon to send notification alerts. It really does help content creators like myself. I need the help. If you have any suggestions about my YouTube content or my channel or about this video, I'd love to hear it. Please leave a comment. Regardless, I'd like to thank you for watching. Stay safe, be entertained, enjoy life, and until next time, adios, goodbye. Hope your RNG is better than mine. Thank you.
All hands, initiate shutdown sequence.